All right, you're watching Business Live. Now, a senior tax partner at accounting firm PricewaterhouseCoopers, George Kwitia, has described the country's tax laws as not so friendly to businesses. Mr. Kwitia disclosed this at the Made in Joy Business PricewaterhouseCoopers seminar on intelligence taxing. George Jaffe has more.
We are in an economy where the informal sector is a very significant sector. It's unfortunate that you have a significant informal sector which is driven by these SMEs. But incidentally, our laws do not necessarily reflect the industry performance or the sector performance. We know when it comes to payment, how long it takes for an average businessman who, if that person doesn't have the financial muscle, will be able to survive over a term period where, on average, people are paid well in excess of 3 months. When it even comes to government projects, at times it runs into years. So if you have a tax system which targets the tax point, which comes earlier than the person receiving his money or his income, which necessarily becomes the basis for which that person uses in paying the taxes, then to some extent, I don't think when it comes to the canons of taxation and you're talking about fairness, you're being fair to the person. When you obviously know that the person hasn't been paid, but then you're making a demand that come and pay, it obviously means that the person will have to go and borrow to pay taxes. And I don't think that is the intent. You want to pay taxes when you've made the money.
So that was my colleague George Jaffe speaking to a senior tax consultant at PricewaterhouseCoopers, George Kwitia. George has also been engaging firms on how to improve upon the tax environment for businesses.
So the conversation has been about taxation, and for most of these small businesses that gathered here, it has not been easy for them in terms of the laws, the structures, and whether it's been described or can be described as friendly for them to honor their tax obligations to the state. I have two distinguished personalities here with me to discuss with them those whole tax issues. How is it for them? Is it challenging? Is it smooth? Or a lot of things needs to be done to address their problems? Good day, madam, and can you tell me your name and where do you work, please?
My name is Fatima. I'm the CEO of African Brand Warrior in Ghana and across other countries in Africa.
And what do you do?
Basically, we do strategies and try to come in to advise businesses along the whole value chain of their businesses and what are the right things to do along that whole chain. And one of them is obviously taxes, because ultimately a country and an economy can only be built rightfully based on tax paid.
I have another gentleman here. Help me out. What do you do, sir?
I'm a farmer, so we do professional farm management. We set up farms and we do the value chain of the agribusiness. That's processing and the consultancies.
Help me out. So when it comes to taxing, and it's been argued that our tax laws are not friendly to small businesses, is that the situation, or maybe you think that we are getting there?
Well, I think it's about education, and most importantly to those who go into business, the private sector, the SMEs are not privy to some of the taxes, and they get to a point where they need to access one form of credit or otherwise, and you are asked, bring your document, and a lot of other things get unraveled as to, oh, there's a gap in your taxes, you haven't done that, you haven't done that. But I still think that as a developing country, we should be able to give startups, SMEs, some kind of a long tax break for them to build themselves, have a stronger foundation, so that when they begin to pay tax, they know the reason why they are paying tax, because they have enjoyed some privileges. Okay, but so it's a matter of having a pragmatic, strategic policy. Involve these people in the process. In other areas, like you take UK for instance, if you have brilliant idea coming out of college, you are given a whole tax exemption, and then you are given all the documentations you need to register your business without spending a dime. But here in Ghana, I mean, by the time you go through all the registration formalities, you might have spent about 6,000 and 7,000 plus, especially if you fall within agro-processing. I mean, that's even more, because you could even end up spending about 15,000 setting up your place alone for inspections.
Let me come to Madam Fatma. What has been your personal experience when it comes to meeting your tax obligation as an entrepreneur, as a small business?
Okay, quite interestingly, I mean, I come in from East Africa, I'm from Kenya, and I look at the continent as one, and I compare, I mean, I've been in Ghana now for 9 years, and when you look at, if I was to compare the two as a business, as an entrepreneur, as a foreigner, you know, operating in another country, I think one of the biggest challenges, and I totally agree with my brother here, is basically the education and knowledge, because a lot of times it's like the Bible, it's like the Quran, you know, what you choose to interpret to your comfort. So I think there's still a lot more room in terms of education advocacy that has to be done, whether it's by consultants. And I mean, the program today Joy has done in conjunction with PwC is a fantastic opportunity for this kind of things. But the biggest challenges, I think, comes in not only from knowing, but also in terms of educating business people to understand the role that they play in terms of transparency, integrity, and ensuring that by doing the right thing, they're not only helping themselves, but they're helping a wider network of businesses to be able to grow. So as much as we choose to avoid paying taxes, it comes back to bite us. So as an entrepreneur, my concern would be, how can somebody come in and enlighten me so that I know that I'm doing the right thing? And as I'm doing the right thing, I'd like the people below me to also do the right thing. So it's a ripple effect. I don't know if that makes sense.
Georgia Fair reporting there from the Maiden Joy Business PwC Tax Knowledge Series. Well, speaking about taxes, 41 cartons of carbonated drinks, tobacco products, and other assorted items have been seized from distributors and retail shops in the Central Business District of Accra. The exercise by the tax force of the Ghana Revenue Authority is in line with this quest to achieve full compliance of the excise tax law. There is more in the following report.
Tuesday morning's operation at the Central Business District was to enhance sensitization of the excise tax law whilst ensuring the necessary tax and duties are paid on products. According to the GRA, compliance has improved since the last excise was carried out relative to the compliance rate in 2018. Several cartons of non-alcoholic beverages and other assorted wines, both imported and locally produced, were seized from some of the wholesale shops, distributors and retail shops. Head of Excise at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Kwabna Ampao, has been speaking to Joy Business.
We understand clearly that, our job is on the market. We have to be here, because all the products will eventually come here, and then we cannot sit in our offices. That is why we come here.
Can we say some of these products were smuggled into the country?
I don't want to make any categorical statement as to why they are not here. They have to explain to us why they are not here. But for us, if we continue to say that if we have paid the duties and taxes, put the stamps on them. And so if there are no stamps on the products, we take it that the duties and taxes have not been paid. And if you have any explanations to make to the Commissioner General, then we can do so. We shall continue to seize those products until importers and manufacturers comply.
Manager of a wholesale shop where some drinks were seized blamed the manufacturer for not affixing stamps and denied selling non-tax products. The GRA, however, accused him of issuing fake VAT invoice, a claim he disputed.
You are not using the proper VAT invoice. What will you have to say? What will you have to say about it?
I'm using VAT invoice.
And so why have you given it to them if that's the right?
It's up to them. They have to, the VAT invoice is with them. If they up to yesterday, I used VAT invoice. After you have received it, delivered, and everything is certified, what we will tell them that it's for us.
So now it's not yours?
Yes.
For now you can't say it's yours?
Yes.
It's for special eyes?
Of course.
So you can't be faulted?
Pardon?
You can't be faulted?
Yes.
The owners of the shops will have to pay a penalty to the authority for failing to comply with the law. Ebenezer Sabate's report for Joy Business.
Well, this is subject for our poll tonight. We have been asking you if you check for the tax stamp whenever you're purchasing a product, and that is a result we have for you tonight. 51% of you are saying that you check for the tax stamp, and 49% of you say no, you don't check. It's actually a very thin line there. So it's quite an issue right now, because I could say that just a few people still do not check for the tax stamp on products. Well, let's see what you're also saying about this. Clement Zuri says, I do very well. And Tandari says, nope, I check expiry dates. And for you, the expiry dates really matter more than the tax stamp. And I'm going to bring in Charles Aite here because he's going to speak about something else, but I want to pick his thoughts on that. Do you check for tax stamp on products you purchase?
Oh, yeah, because first of all, it helps me understand whether these products are authentic and whether or not these, the companies that really produce these things, from my business perspective, really pay taxes. So it's very imperative for me.
All right. Well, Charles Aite is here on another issue, another distress action that was taken by the National Insurance Commission. They have been going around to ensure that commercial buildings are insured. And today, they happen to make some arrests. Charles Aite is going to tell us all about this on Business Live tonight. Charles, tell me where you went today and what did you see? All right.
So today, the Special Task Force was heavy on the business district of Accra. So we visited areas along the stretch of Kaneshie. We also went beyond that particular area. So, about 18 companies were visited, commercial buildings, I should say, were visited. And out of these 18 commercial buildings, Darryl, we had just one complying, by the entire terms related to having to insure your building. Out of that, 17 other commercial buildings did not comply. So we had the occupant of all these buildings picked up by the Special Task Force.
And so what happens? When it happened the other time, there were issues about why occupants of the commercial buildings and not the owners were arrested. What happened this time around? So who was arrested?
Yeah, so the same thing, the same issue, occupants of the buildings were arrested. But I saw clarity once again, because remember the last time we were having this debate about how justified this is to have occupants arrested, when in fact they are not the ones who, established these buildings. And the thing we're getting, the information we're getting from the NIC is that it's all based on law. If the owner isn't there, if he's there, why not? We're going to pick them up. But if they are not there, in the meantime, why don't you get these occupants as bait to the owners? So this is kind of an approach that the NIC has adopted to get to the owners directly and make sure that they comply in the shortest possible time.
I guess you've been speaking with officials. What have they been telling you?
So, I interviewed the head of the task force, Joseph Bento, of which we shall be playing the clip shortly. But my question to him was very simple. Why is it that we keep going on and on? It's like a vicious cycle. And we just don't get answers to issues of compliance. And this is what he had to tell us.
Output is not encouraging, because this Accra this is about the sixth enforcement that we are doing, and still our compliance is far below 20%.
Don't you think the entire strategy could not be really yielding the needed results?
The strategy could yield the result if we normalize it, and it's an everyday affair as I look at it. It's like this every 2 months we are going out. I think we have to sustain it. It should be everyday affair.
Others are arguing that this is kind of selective because, so many commercial vehicles in Accra, commercial buildings in Accra do not have an insurance policy.
Yes, well, it's right. We have more than 1 million properties in Accra, and we cannot go all. We have to start. And then, yes, we do a selection with respect to the area we have to go so that we can cover several areas. So that's what I'm saying. It's a everyday activity. Yes.
Others have also argued that why don't you make it very compulsory to get the insurance cover before permit is given for the construction of any commercial building?
Oh, permit is given for the construction of the building. Insurance is a time-bound policy. It's either for 6 months or for 12 months. So it's continuous. Every year you have to change it, whether you have finished the...
All right, and so that was an official there of the...
Yeah, so that was the head of the task force.
Great. So what happens next? Where are they headed to next?
Yeah, so what happens next is deepening public awareness, because from what we've gathered so far, most of these occupants, even the owners of these commercial buildings, just don't know there is a particular law, sections 183 and 184 of the Insurance Act, that institutes it carefully, perfectly for each and every owner of a commercial building to have his or her building insured. So the way next is public education.
Thanks very much indeed, Charles Aite there. Let's move on to other stories tonight. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, says the banking sector reforms have instilled more confidence to foreign investors, including Germans interested in doing business in Ghana. Addressing some German investors at the launch of a service to facilitate trade between both countries, Dr. Addison said the remaining banks are well equipped to support private sector-led growth. Bismarck Awusa was at the launch of the German Desk Financial Support and Solutions, and our reports.
Dr. Addison says the reforms in the banking sector has yielded results evident in the 2018 Ernst & Young Africa Attractiveness Report. It revealed that Ghana ranks second in West Africa in terms of foreign direct investment attractiveness.
This has enhanced the efficiency and stability of the remaining 23 banks, restored confidence and resilience in the banking sector, with banks now better positioned to support private sector-led growth in the Ghanaian economy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the recent improvements in our country's macroeconomic fundamentals provides a conducive environment and a strong impetus for the private sector to support economic activities, job creation, and inclusive growth.
The new service for Ghanaian companies and their foreign partners in Germany was launched to close the financing gaps hampering trade activities between both countries. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta urged the German business operators to increase their investments to Ghana to enhance economic development.
It is my expectation that the German desk will facilitate and increase the provision of medium to long-term financing for our economic development, and this will be working closely with DAG and KfW, which has a commitment to support that. In addition to that, of course, the skills, and the last time Dr. Muller was here, we talked about vocational training as being very critical, and also a center to train about 25,000 people to be able to create entrepreneurs who depend on themselves and not the government, and have the skill set for the future.
Meanwhile, the German Federal Minister of Economic Development and Cooperation, Dr. Gerd Müller, has expressed confidence in Ghana as an investment destination.
Ghana is a stable democracy and a pillar of stability in the region. Your country is a reform partner country and a Compact with Africa partner country for Germany. As part of these partnerships, we support your policy for stronger economic performance and for infrastructure development, especially in the areas of energy, health and training.
The first German Desk Financial Support and Solutions has been active in Nigeria since October 2017, where it has been very well received. Bismarck Awusa, Joy Business.
Now, CEO of Airtel Tigo, Metwa Ngambi, says the company is committed to enhancing the use of smartphones as well as driving digitalization of the economy. As part of this objective, Airtel Tigo has entered into a partnership with smartphone maker Samsung to launch a Life Just Got Lit campaign in Accra. Metwa Ngambi says statistics indicate there's still a huge opportunity for growth when it comes to smartphone adoption in the country, and that her company is partnering Samsung to help bridge the gap. Telecom operator Airtel Tigo has teamed up with smartphone maker Samsung to launch a Life Just Got Lit campaign. CEO of Airtel Tigo, Metwa Ngambi, says statistics indicate there is still a huge opportunity for growth when it comes to smartphone adoption in the country, and that her company is partnering Samsung to help bridge the gap.
2019, the year that we make customers' lives better. And one of the ways that we see that we can do that is to encourage and penetrate the use of smartphones. In order to do that, we have a strategic partner in Samsung, who is a giant in its own right. Samsung this year celebrates 50 years of Samsung Electronics' existence as as well as the 10th year of the Samsung Galaxy phone. And we saw it a really good opportunity for us to come together to see how we can join forces in terms of driving smartphone adoption in this country. So in terms of both of our objectives in this country, we share one common objective, which is the driving of digitization within this economy. And one way that we do it is that we obviously have an entire network that drives the use of the internet. Of course, our network is accessed by devices such as Samsung devices. So on the part of Samsung, they also have the intention of increasing the number of sales with Samsung devices while staying connected to our network as well.
New and existing consumers will get free packages, including SIM cards, free minutes to call, and data to purchase any Samsung phones or tablets in Airtel Tigo shops, among others. Marketing manager of Samsung Ghana, Tracy Che, was happy about the partnership and noted that Samsung is also happy to be part of government's digitalization agenda.
One of the key things for Samsung is to have good quality products that enhance the life of consumers. And like my MD said, given that it's no longer a global village but a digital one, we're happy to partner an operator like Airtel Tigo, as given that they're also the second largest telco in Ghana at the moment. So we're very excited to partner with them to actually boost the mandate of even the government to enhance or make every consumer in Ghana take them digital. So
Samsung marks 10 years of existence of its Galaxy brand. And we're just about wrapping up. Before we go, we just want to pull up that poll one more time because things have changed slightly. So now we see that 52% of you are saying that you check for the tax stamp when you purchase products. And I need to re-emphasize this. Between the people who do and the people who don't, it's just 2%. So it's just still a few more people who actually do check for the tax stamp when they purchase their products. That's it for Business Live. There's more news on our website. You can read more about our tax knowledge series, the maiden edition which took place today, on our website, joybusinessnews.com. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for watching. We're back same time tomorrow.